Alright, so now we get to the Queen Bee, the mother lode of experience that is Elsa Heck, Maiden of Titania. This is my long running Adventure League character. I've been playing her since March, and right now it's August. For those of you in the future, hold on. So yeah, Elsa Heck, Maiden of Titania, half elf, monk 5, warlock 2, acolyte. That's kind of weird. Should be criminal. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, this is my new Adventure League character from when the Adventure League kind of started up properly in the store. So let's see. She was born as or as I say it, she was born to a drow worshipping cult of humans for an insidious plot, and was raised as an assassin. So, and upon her final exam or whatever, she had to kill a dude. And during the time that she had it and she was observing him, she just kind of fell in love with the idea not with him, but with his maids, and kind of she appreciated the idea of working for someone that you admire, and respect, and she didn't really have that for her family or her cult or the drow, so she decided to leave, and she was more or less on the run. She's in the Zentarum because that's kind of like the criminal organization. That's what I decided to go with for her. Yeah, this is a weird ass character to play as because, in one of in one of the I think the second module that we did, there was a situation where we were escorting a caravan, and the caravan had to go up a hill at some point. But the thing is, the hill had a path in the middle of it, and on either side of the path was covered with brambles, thick weeds, all that jazz. And at the top were two bugbears that were throwing logs down the middle. So we had to go up through the we had to go up through the middle of the road and then veer off into the difficult terrain, bramble and roots and that shit. And I was pretty much none of us had ranged options at the time. It was not the best. So because I had the best speed, I was closest to getting up to them regularly, but they also had javelins and shit. So my thing was pretty much, alright, I'm just gonna get up a little bit closer, I'm gonna move up 2 or so spots, and then dodge. And I got their attention for a fair bit, but then I ate shit, and I went down, and then later, or after this session, we survived the battle. After this session and before the next one, I was like, fuck, I need some ranged options. So this became the second time my character became a warlock, or a multi-class into warlock, rather. So I went with Titania, who is who's an Archfey patron, and yeah, because Gulaks are a great old one is cool, but not really thematically fitting, and the Fiend is for bitches. So yeah, she's a Archfey warlock. I ended up just taking 2 levels with her, or in warlock for her, so I could get Agonizing Blast and Devil Sight. And then, so the thing is, the campaign, or the module season that these were for was Against the Giants, and this came out during when Storm King's Thunder was fairly new. So the majority of our enemies were giants and ogres and that kind of thing, and she is not the best equipped for that kind of combat, or in terms of armor class, she was at 15 for the majority, and then friggin' now she's just locked at 16. But yeah, giants hit hard, and there's usually only 1 or 2 of them at a time in each fight. But if I can get hit once by them, my character especially, she got fucking hit once by them, it's BAM! She's down. Can't do shit, and then everyone has to stop to revive me. And her role in combat is really weird. Because as a monk, she's a properly optimized monk when she was started. like her best feat, or like she was pretty good, like going around and taking out the smaller enemies, or like on the border, while everyone kind of like fixated on the big one, and then that worked out because yeah, she had like an average armor class, and like but like because of the yeah, because she got like 2 attacks per round, she could do pretty well on that, because like the other enemies were fairly weak. But then when you like kind of throttle that down to like one or two really strong dudes, her role in combat kind of gets fucked up, because like maybe it's just because I'm paranoid and like I just don't like getting like my characters get hit a whole lot in general. But yeah, she ate shit really easily. So because I now had ranged options, my primary move is to stay back and just like hex, shoot with Eldritch Blast. It's not the best bread and butter kind of a attack and combat kind of thing. It's not like the DM would occasionally rib me for it. Okay, so you use Eldritch Blast, which you which is a minor ability granted to you by being a warlock, which you are only 2 levels in, whereas you are a level 4 monk. And I'm like, yeah, Rob, I get it. I get it. So, I mean, it comboed okay, since I'd usually hex my enemies at the same time. But I usually ended up really rolling kind of shittily for Eldritch Blast. And then, because I was like, once I got back to being a monk, everyone was at like level 4 at the time, so I was like 2 level 2s instead of like 1 level 4. Just like, wasn't that great. She started to come through once she got to her 3rd level of monk, so then she's a shadow monk, so she could do darkness, and like I can see in darkness, and I actually helped the party out pretty well on a couple of occasions with darkness. Like I kind of want to say I'm a utility fighter in that way, but yeah, just kind of like middle of the road when it comes to that. Let's see what else she got. Darkness, Hex, sorry. Yeah, so like her Warlock spells were Hex, Armor of Agathis, Fairy Fire, and Armor of Agathis gets to be really useless if you're not like actively taking Warlock levels. Like it was nice at first because like, boom, 5 extra hit points at 3rd level. This is all right. It's not great, but it's all right. And then Fairy Fire, yeah, that's all right. Still levels. Your proficiency still adds to it when you level up in total. Hex, excellent spell, used every combat. But otherwise, yeah, it's not my best built character. Like it's kind of like like as time went on, I eventually got to, let's see, Opal of the Ildrune, and this is like an opal that had the giant rune for fire carved on it, and this was something I really wanted for my fucking paladin. Because like in the second session where I was playing my paladin, I was like, can I buy a sword that does like 1d6 fire damage? And the DM was like, you're gonna need about 25,000 gold for that, buddy. Like everyone was kind of ribbing me for it. I was like, yeah, just fucking, God, whatever. I just like, it's so bad that I want a fire sword. Like that was me bitching a bit, but I was like, I like fire swords. What's to not like? Yeah, that's Elsa. And like she's good. I'm just kind of done with her. I played her for a few months, but like, it's just the modules. They don't go anywhere with your character. Like, they don't really. I don't feel that they really get the players into the game, like into the story. Because like, if it was something like, hey, you're in this guild, and jobs come in sometimes. Do this shit, and you get paid. Then I think I'd be perfectly okay with that. Because like, what's my reason for going on these adventures? I'm in a guild and I get paid. And like, that's a fairy tale thing, and a fairy tale can eat shit. But it works pretty well for a game, I think. Ugh. Grody. So that was the Boston Lager, Samuel Adams, and this is the Golden Hour Helles Lager. And let's see how this one tastes. Nothing. Tastes like fucking nothing. Alright. Okay, so next on the docket, we got my Drowbarian Arid Zoom. Is my name on this one? Nah, good. Alright. So yeah, Arid Zoom. A Drow Barbarian. I was getting stuffed up. This was made for a recently began Horde of the Dragon Queen game. Which, it's okay. I mean, I'm playing Horde of the Dragon Queen again. It's been over a year, so I forgot most of, like, the details and shit, just, like, the overall story thing. And, like, I swore myself to secrecy on plot details and, like, going through and purposely doing the right thing, so, I'm not fucking dicking around, and, like, I do kind of want to see where the rest of the story is going, but I've stopped, I guess that's not really going to go anywhere now. So yeah, Arid Zoom is a gladiator, and I didn't write his backstory down because the sheets that were printed out have no reverse side. So that shit doesn't really get any play, but his character is that he was a gladiator in a drow city, and he eventually moved to the surface. And instead of getting barbarian rage, he gets barbarian joy, where he just gets so happy from the sensations of life and battle that he can he ignores damage, and he just gets more powerful. This is something I'd kind of like to do more in another game, actually, if I could manage it. He's kind of inspired by Spartacus from Fate Apocrypha / Grand Order, but don't fucking watch Fate Apocrypha, because it's kind of garbage. Because he's, like, dark-skinned, he's got, like, light hair, and he pretty much wears nothing but, like, a metal harness. I mean, he's got 10 strength, but, like, he's high on dexterity, so he's not just, like, a bardo fetish or anything. No, not at all. That's dumb. Yeah, I just played him for 2 sessions. I got kind of peeved because one other guy in the party was playing a Dragonborn fighter, and, like, in the first chapter, at the end of it, you fight this half-dragon dude, and I was like, hey, I should fight him, and he was like, I should fight him because I'm a Dragonborn, he's a half-dragon. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, I got 17 AC, I got 1d12 plus 2 HP, or I got 14 HP, I can go into a state that does half damage, that, like, does half damage against me and extra damage against him. Like, you want to fight because you're the fucking Dragonborn here? You're blue. He's blue. What, you think your fucking lightning breath is going to do anything against him? No. And then he fucking whiffed on that, too. God. I mean, I'm not really aggravated about that. Like, I mean, that's not like I'm leaving this game because he wouldn't let me fucking fight this dude in the first chapter of a module I was already playing. But, no, that's just something funny that happened. I'm really not salty about it at all. And, like, in the second chapter where we're going into this camp and shit, like, things just kind of happened. I'm kind of playing him as a Slav immigrant. So, it's nothing really special about him, like, just to, hey, funny Borat voice. And then, like, but, like, another guy is, like, he's doing it as well. Like, not his character, but, like, he also joins in on the voice. And I'm like, can I just do my character? Do you have to chip in every time? It's like, God, it's so fucking annoying. Let me do my shit, guys. Come on. Alright, so next we got the stacks of, never played characters. So, these are ones that I've never played before. And I think I can just roll through this shit. Like, let's start at the back with a mystic that doesn't even have a name or a backstory. It's just, maybe I should make a mystic character. Then, like, I got into, like, alright, got the stats down, weapon, equipment, features, and, like, some of the first level features, and I'm just like, I don't give a shit, I can't think of anything for a fucking mystic. Like, mystics are so weird. What are you supposed to do with them? Like, oh, this guy's really smart, and he trained a whole bunch to use his mind. Just like, whatever. Like they just all kind of become the same thing, don't they? And like, I know it's supposed to be kind of like, yeah, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, it's the anime character class, but I can't really get into it. I like some of their features and things, but it's just not really for me. So next we got something that like this is going to replace my barbarian. Oh, I think you got a private message. No, all good. So this is going to replace my barbarian in Horde of the Dragon Queen. This is Gudrun Udarl. And the idea for this character is, hey, I like that fake Grand Order mobile game. Why don't I just make a player character out of the player character in that game? Let me fix my fucking camera. There we go. So let's see. Yeah, Gudrun Udarl. And so after me thinking about the role of the character, or of the player character in fake Grand Order, she never engages in battle. She lets her servants do the fighting for her. And her main roles are to like guide them, and then she occasionally does like, oh shit, you can see my armpit hair. Oh, that's nasty. You occasionally buff them and heal them and that kind of stuff. It's like, I see that. Bard, she's a bard. She doesn't even come off as that intelligent. Totally a bard. So, yeah, 16 charisma, and that's all you need. 13 in armor class. Woo! Starting out with leather armor. God. You know what else is really dumb about the Mystics? You start, like, the starting equipment for those. Like, you get leather armor, studded leather armor. Who's gonna pick leather armor over studded leather armor? Come on, Wizards of the Coast. Come on, Mike Merles, do your job. So let's see. So Gudrun's character is that she was originally going to a magic academy for wizards, but she got kicked out for I want to say she got kicked out for shipping two of her classmates and writing fan fiction. Not to be taken entirely seriously, this character. So her personality traits are sardonic, writes character roles mentally. So, yeah, this is something like I'd actually like to play, like a character who sees other people as characters and like kind of wants to set up a story for them. Her ideals is to make life a good story. Bonds. You need interesting people for interesting stories. She won't hang around boring people. And her flaws. Creepy, clingy, obsessive. Ships party members. I think this would really only service myself more than the other players. Besides, like me. Like, boom, bardic inspiration. Do a good job out there. Yeah. Do it. Woo! Like, she's just like, in combat, she'd just be more of a fucking cheerleader. Which I think is a totally, yeah, being a cheerleader is totally acceptable, interpretation of a bard. Not like, pom-poms and short skirts kind of cheerleader, but, like, just in general, helping the others out from, like, the sidelines. Woo, you can do it, go, go, go. I don't know any fucking cheers. Let's see. Yeah, not a whole lot to her for now. Like, maybe if I ever, like, get to be a player again, I'd really like to play her like a role-20 game or something. Something like more role-play and, yeah, more role-play and, story and character development. Next we have Tazet Mandinas. He's a vampire barbarian, and this is based on the Zendikar vampires from the Planeshift Zendikar supplement. And he's not actually a Zendikar vampire, but I just want to use something that used the vampire race. They're essentially tieflings with some different features. Like, they get to suck your blood while you're grappled. And this is going to be another kind of dexterity barbarian. Kind of a noble kind of guy, and like the idea for him is that he'd eventually become like one of those Unearthed Arcana barbarians, the ones that can like summon the spirits of their ancestors, and whoever is like in his range gets battered by ghosts, which is super cool. So the idea was that he'd be a noble vampire, and I kind of like interpreted like vampiric brute strength, allowing him or to be good for barbarians, along with like their the rage, kind of like being refluffed as like vampiric hardiness and that kind of thing. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to him, but this is another character. Like I just wanted to play him. I wrote like like the first chapter of a book focusing on him, where he's an accountant, and he's riding in a carriage with his elf maid, and they get attacked by bandits on the highway, and like they kill them, but nothing really came of that. I was like, ooh, maybe I should write this fucking light novel. I can do that. I was like, nope, not feeling like it. Nothing came of that, really. Like, yeah, I'd still totally like to play as Dizette. And here's my third barbarian. Like, it's a real shame that I've never actually played a barbarian. Right? Yeah, that I've never actually played a barbarian. What the fuck? Oh, my gosh. I drew character art for another character on the back of this barbarian player sheet. What the fuck, man? So this character is a Dornham Dahlem. Like he doesn't really have a lot of he doesn't really have a character as much as me. Just wanted to like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do the 15 15 15 8 8 8 character or point buy array, because why not? I've never done that. It'll be a challenge for me. And then after I did that, I was like, fuck, I don't care. Like there's nothing really special about him. He has polearm mastery and fights with a glaive. 16 strength, 16 constitution, 10 wisdom, actually. But that'd probably be better going off into charisma so he doesn't get mind controlled or anything. Man, if you're a DM and you don't ever mind control the barbarian, you're fucking missing out on the chance to make your party shit themselves. That is, like, I swear, once I get a party with a barbarian in it, I'm gonna do my damn best. Oh, okay, so I guess that was the actual character art for Dornham on the back of that. Let me fucking show this to you. I don't know what I was doing at the time. Boy, this guy's fuck ugly. I think I was going for some kind of Man of the Iron Mask kind of thing here. I don't know. I don't remember. Speaking of Man in the Iron Mask, the exact same character, except now this is Sherman Ironface, a war cleric with a criminal background. Let's just get the picture in frame there so you know who I'm talking about. So he's a war cleric, and his character is that he was an urchin on the streets who would regularly steal from people, and one day he got into this big gang fight and almost died. And afterwards he was like, shit, I've been living terribly my entire life. Like, I should be dead right now. So I will devote my life to a god, and then I will berate people who are not living better. So, I know what I was fucking doing with this character. Like, I was just kind of like in this frenzy for a couple nights, like, alright, another character for this class, and for this class, and for this class. I've got all these classes that I've never played. I gotta make characters for them. So, yeah, fuck him. Oh yeah, here's his character traits. Will not remove his mask, always takes blame. Let's see. I'll try to make up for my sins with penance. Any opportunity to do right should be taken. Yeah, and he's practically suicidal. That is the man who you want protecting your party. The guy who just wants to fucking die. And then finally, just kind of like this is a tiefling monk warlock named Kunvaziba. Let's see, she's a monk 2 warlock 4, so she's pretty much the opposite of an old Elsa from earlier. And why did I make this character? She was I was looking at some monster art and stuff for Shin Megami Tensei 2, and one of the demons that shows up in this, it's like this like this red-skinned woman who's wearing like this it's like wearing this white outfit with like some blue capes and shit, and she rides a camel, and I thought, she looks like a tiefling. Yeah, how about I do that? And oh, fucking, I remember her story now. So the idea with this character is that yeah, her name is like some kind of like R13 version of one demon name. I think Paimon. And R13 is this it's this really fucking basic cipher where you take a letter in the alphabet, then like move it 13 places over, and yeah, it's like there's not a whole much going on with that. So like yeah, so her original name is Paimon, which is a demon from the Ars Gotia, and for some reason that's not actually the name of the demon which I took inspiration from Shin Megami Tensei. So I don't know what the fuck I was doing there. And her story was that she's got the Far Traveler background, so she was from like an Arabian Nights kind of area on the planet, wherever that was. Like, not necessarily Al-Qadim. Like, maybe I'll use it for another game. I don't know. Actually, no, this isn't an Adventures League sheet, so maybe it could be Al-Qadim. That'd be pretty sweet. So, like, the story is that, I made her level 6 for some reason, so maybe I just, like, made this for a higher level game. But her story is that she started out life in a monk monastery and was training there. But then someone in the monastery had discovered what her true name was and was using it to control her and force her to make a pact with a demon. So, oh yeah, this is like the only time I used the fucking, what is it? Fiend Warlock pact. Where's my fucking mind going? Oh yeah. So, I think I made this to, like, be more of an enemy NPC for a game. Because, yeah, I was just thinking about this. Yeah, like, she originally started as an enemy NPC for one of my games. Just like, I really like this. I'll just make her a character for, like, Adventure League or something. And I'll make her at level 6 for some reason, even though in Adventure League, you gotta fucking log all your experience gains and shit. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, those are all the characters that I've made, or at least most of them. There were a couple where I started writing them out, and then partway I was just like, I don't feel like doing this anymore, so I just like erased all of it. And one of them was a thief whose gimmick was inspired by a anime screen cap where, like, there's two guys on an elevator and one is saying to the other, I've been pretending to be mentally retarded for the past 7 years. So this character gimmick was that he was a man of average or exceptional intelligence of the rogue class who was he was also inspired by Lancelot from inspired by Lancelot from the Once and Future King. But yeah, that just happened around the same time where, like, gears were turning in my head, where he'd be a criminal whose shtick was he would go into a town and he would pretend to be retarded around everybody so that they'd be used to, like, thinking of him as that, oh, he's just the village idiot. He can't be up to anything. And, like, secretly he'd be, like, a smuggler or, like, a thief or something. And, like, he'd never be up for suspicion because he's too retarded to do anything. This is not the most socially acceptable character. That's not why I decided to erase him, though. Did I just need the sheet for something else at the time, or I didn't feel like going all the way through with it, or I just didn't have a game for him? I don't remember. Yeah, I'd kind of like to play him too sometime. But, that is all I've got. That was not the best presented thing that I could do, but yeah. Yeah, just like kind of honest. I had a beer. I'm not drunk. I'm not even buzzed right now. I'm not doing weird shit with my hands, which I usually do when I'm buzzed. So, yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Oh god, that was terrible.